good afternoon, Talkin Fight fans, and actually good evening, Talkin Fight fans, to my UK family, boxing family. Welcome to Knuckle Up at 4. With my boy Mike Orr will be here in a minute. Hopefully, I am your host Cedric Benn. I have my special guest today from London, Mr. Jeamie TKV. Thank you very much for joining me today. And yeah, man, straight from London. So what time is it over there right now? It's 4 o'clock over here, so it's 9 o'clock over there.
At the moment, it's 9:05, so it's like just reached 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
Nice.
I'm not sure what. So yeah.
Nice.
So it's
nice.
5. Did you say 4 p.m. for you guys?
Yes, it is. It's 4 o'clock here now.
Yeah.
So all right, let's get right into it, man. I know you're well known, but let's get you more known to the people that haven't got a chance to meet you yet. Specifically about the boxing. First of all, how did you get into boxing? Give us that brief story behind that.
So I started off doing Olympic wrestling, freestyle wrestling. I've done it from a young age. My dad is a freestyle wrestling coach, and all my siblings, we all did it. And when I got to the age of 18, there was like a youth program where my dad was doing wrestling, and there was boxing, and there was other sports, football and whatnot. And I thought, you know what? I've always loved boxing. I always loved watching boxing, and I thought, let me give boxing a try. I gave it a try, and the coach said, you got a lot of potential. You're doing things like you've done boxing before. You're quite fast. The way you move it's different. So why don't you take it serious? So after 2 weeks of doing boxing, the coach spoke to my dad. I said, why don't you allow Jeamie to do boxing full time? And here we are today.
Nice. Yeah. So this started when you were 18. The journey started when you were 18?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now, you're in London. Where are you originally from? Where's your family originally from?
My parents are originally from Democratic Republic of Congo.
Nice.
It used to be previously called Zaire. I don't know if you remember Muhammad Ali and George Foreman had a fight in Zaire. Yeah, so now it's called DR Congo.
Oh, okay. I didn't put that together. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So your amateur career, how tell us a little bit about that. What was the height of that? And why? Maybe just give us the transition on why. Well, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, tell your story.
No. I was just saying, once I started amateur boxing, my coach wanted me to get the most experience I can get. That's the reason why I ended up having as many fights as I did. You know what I'm saying? So from when I first started boxing, I don't think I ever stopped boxing. I just had fights after fights, entered every championship I could, and literally, I feel like that was the best way for me to learn, because I gained so much experience by boxing people of high level and certain levels. Like most of the people that I've boxed are doing well as professionals,
Nice.
And they're going to come up the same as me.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes me feel that I'll be comfortable as a professional, because I will come across them. We will cross paths again as professionals. But I feel like the experience that I gained as an amateur has helped me a lot to improve and to be where I'm at now.
Of course. That's what I, just coaching amateurs myself. It's just that when you're at the amateur level, the goal is to try to fight the top competition, just to get yourself prepared for the professional level, as far as
Exactly.
fighting people with a high skill level before your record actually counts. So it does make sense to have at least a couple of amateur fights at that high level. Now, what gave you the confidence, and what made you decide to turn pro?
I mean, I had done everything there is to do that. Well, not everything, but I've been to the highest level of amateur boxing, and I felt like there was nothing else for me to do but to turn professional. The aim, no matter how much you tell yourself, most people tell themselves, yeah, I'm here to win medals and stuff. But when you start boxing, everyone wants to become a professional boxer. Everyone wants to become a world champion. You get what I'm saying? And they want to live that life, that glamour life of a fighter. So when I did start boxing, the plan was to become a professional at the end of it. Like, once I learned my trade in the amateurs, then turn professional. So when I felt like I'd done everything and I learned my trade, I decided this was the best time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what as far as your training camps, how have those differed, like from getting ready for a professional fight as opposed for an amateur one?
Do you know what? I thought that I actually prefer the professional training just because it's done throughout like earlier in the day. Because with the amateurs, you train later on. You're tired. Like by the time you get home, you're tired. You go to
Yes.
work the next day. Sometimes it's just tiring the way
Hmm.
it's done in the amateurs. But as a professional, everything is done earlier on, and you're able to get stuff done out and put up like, out of the way. And like I just find it better. I prefer it. Yeah, personally, I
Yeah.
just prefer it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, as far as your fighting style, how have you felt that you've had to change your fighting style to adjust to the professional ranks, or do you feel like you kind of just made that easy transition?
To be honest, I had to slow down my pace because
Mm,
I was the type of person who would try. You get me, a big guy who throws a lot of shots. It looks pretty, but it's not
hmm.
about looking pretty. It's about doing the right things at the right time. You don't want to blow out in the ring, because I was doing things where I'll be moving my head all the time,
Yeah.
um, throwing a lot of punches where I wouldn't be able to do the rounds that I'm supposed to be doing. But now with Ben Davison and Barry Smith teaching me the right things and showing me how I should control myself in that ring, I'm able to do 10 rounds without even blowing out be blowing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um, I've realized that the transition was just the amount of work that you do each round. For me personally,
Mm,
that's the main transition that I made the change. But it didn't take much, but the only thing I had to do was slow down. So
yeah. So basically, just increasing the workload.
yeah,
Mastering the same, the same thing as the amateurs, just mastering the fundamentals, not just
yeah,
going through the
exactly,
motions, but making sure that you're doing everything properly, offense and defense,
exactly,
and but just doing
yeah,
more of it, right? Of course.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Um, what want to know right now, and how did that? How okay? Yeah, this is the other question. How did it feel as opposed your first professional fight as opposed to your first like amateur fight? Describe those two experiences and how maybe they were
You know what?
similar.
So, well, my first amateur fight, I was so confident, and I did win. I beat the guy up easy. It was an easy fight for me, even though many would expect their first pro fight to be an easy fight. But I knew that the guy came out to cause trouble. So in a way, it had me a little bit nervous because
Hmm.
this is my career. If anything goes wrong,
Yes.
this is my life. Everything that I've worked hard for, it can go
Hmm.
down in drain with one mistake. So I feel like if anything did go wrong in my first fight, that's my career done. Everything I've worked so hard for is gone.
Hmm.
So that mentality was the wrong mentality to like I had the wrong thoughts. Just before going into the ring, I was thinking like that. But then obviously the first round I didn't feel like I did what I was supposed to be doing. But after the second round onwards, I got into my groove and I got comfortable. But the first round like the nerves did get to me and I felt like I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing.
Nice. Do you have anything scheduled? Anything? What is your next one scheduled coming up? Next fight, sorry.
Um there's a bit of talk about June, so hopefully we're getting out in June. So that's like in 2 months. So at
Okay.
least they're trying to keep me busy. So that's good news for us.
Good. Now, as far as I always thought even like because you're a heavyweight, the only weight class that you guys don't really have to worry about what you're eating as far as for
Yeah,
cutting weight. But how do you obviously you're not just eating junk food all the time, but do you still
yeah,
kind
of
of
course.
manage to watch what you're eating, or do you just making sure that
Yeah.
you try to out train what you're eating to balance it out?
Do you know? Do you know what? That's what we used to do in the amateurs. But I
Mhm.
got told by the right people that you got to eat certain food and avoid like a particular type of food so it can better your performance. So what I did was avoided all the bad food for a while and made sure that I ate the right food and I felt like it did benefit me come fight night. But throughout the whole camp, I think I lost because during lockdown, after the Olympic qualifiers, I got comfortable, started eating whatever I wanted, and I ballooned up from 110 to 133. So I'm coming down from 133, and obviously it did take a while, but it took yeah. But I finally got there. But yeah, it did take a while to get there. Either way, it wasn't as easy as you would expect.
Yeah. And of course, as you get older, well, again, because you're a heavyweight, so you don't really have to worry about cutting weight. But as you get older, you still want to watch what you're eating to make sure your body's moving efficiently in the ring and
Exactly.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of the ring, what do you do? What do you do to kind of shut your mind off from boxing? How do you get yourself to relax? What else do you up to?
Most most of the time, I listen to music or watch things or do things that are not related to boxing, just so I can keep my mind off the boxing sometimes. Because
Mhm.
sometimes when you're thinking too much about boxing, especially leading up to my first fight, it could cause nerves. So I try to avoid it as much as possible. And by doing that, I just used to do other things that doesn't relate to boxing. It could be drawing, doing art, watching TV, or just listening to music. That's how I was doing a lot of reading. That
Mhm.
helped me a lot as well to concentrate. And
Like
I did a little bit of meditating, not enough, but I did a little bit.
not enough, but yeah, that's it's always a good
Yeah,
thing. Help the mind relax. Reading
exactly.
books or articles. What type of reading?
To be honest, I was reading a book. I was reading the Teddy Atlas, which is boxing related, but I was reading
Mm.
another book about the strength of the mind. I've got the name of the book, but I'll find it. I'll find out what it is. But it's about having a strong mentality, especially for performance, and
Hmm.
just in general, just to keep you positive. You get what I'm saying? It's one of those books, but I need to actually find the name. I literally forgot what book.
Yeah, definitely. Because yeah, just trying to control the thoughts, right? Because the thoughts control the motivation, which the mental
Exactly.
motivation leads to what you do with your
Performance.
physical
Yeah,
person, right? So it's always important to
that's true.
keep the mental strong. Um, I know obviously you're still early in your career. How old are you right now?
28.
28. What do you plan on doing like after your career? Any things in the plans yet? What do you anything you're working on?
Nothing really, nothing really planned. But previously, I used to do a lot of writing and film and stuff. I even have a documentary which Vice and HBO actually called me for, and they
Really?
asked how did yeah, literally I'll send you the link. It's called The
Yeah.
Story Behind Voodoo Wrestling, and
The story behind what?
yeah, if
Sorry.
you can write them, The Story Behind Voodoo Wrestling.
Voodoo
Yeah,
wrestling. Interesting.
wrestling's very exactly. So when they called me, they was like, "How the hell did you get this stuff together?" So my
Mm.
dad's he did wrestling, and in Congo they do voodoo wrestling. You know what I'm saying? My dad didn't do the voodoo bit, but he was wrestling with those people, so he knew those people, so he had access to that. So when they called me, they asked if they can use the people that I used in my documentary, and from then HBO did one, and then my dad did one with Netflix too. So from my documentary, we had the HBO version and the Netflix version, which copied my version. So hopefully
Wow.
after, yeah, literally, hopefully after my career, I'm looking to get into that. Maybe I have some time on my hand to do that properly.
Nice. There you go. There you go. HBO, he's ready for you. Come get him before somebody else offers them more money. Um, we got some quick questions in the chat here. My man Vidi is asking if you were to fight anyone tomorrow, who A, would you be ready? And B, who would your opponent be?
I'm always ready. Look, what boxer ain't ready? We're all ready. But
Of course.
opponent, it could what old school fighter or the fighters of today, like at the moment currently.
Well, let's answer both. So start with the old school fighter that you want to face, and then let's
Okay.
let's bring it to someone new.
All right. Cool. The fight right now. Well, old school. I would say Muhammad Ali or Evander Holyfield. I would love to share the ring with one of them.
Mm,
Like Ali is just Ali. But
Yeah.
Evander, I love the way he used to box. Every fight was entertaining. I would love to be in an entertaining fight
Yeah.
with him. And for now, I would say Tyson Fury, man. Like,
Of course.
he brings a crowd and he's entertaining. Everyone will be watching that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love
Yeah.
to fight people like that. You know, fights that make history, that make statements. I love that. I would love to box the best. AJ, anyone that's the best. I don't care win or lose. As long as I box the best, I'm all good with that.
There you go. There you go. That's the attitude we like to hear. A quick comment from Adari Penance, who says you should be a switch hitter heavyweight from orthodox to southpaw would be awesome. What can you switch back and forth, or do you feel more comfortable just staying in one stance?
You know what? I used to be a switch hitter like quite early on.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where I didn't like it. There certain fights I would do it, but not all the time. So I said, you know what, let me just stick to orthodox. But never know, maybe I might bring it back just for what's his name?
Mr. or Mrs. Pennant. I don't know. I can't know. Adari Pennant.
I might bring it back just for you. Just for you, I'll bring it back.
There you go. There you go. Another question: did you have any boxing idols or cornerstones, mentors coming up? Like who, as you were in? I know you started a little bit late as an 18-year-old. So when you were coming up, who did you look up to? Like who were you? Obviously, you talked about Muhammad Ali and Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
Maybe get into a little bit of detail. Why exactly those guys?
So for me, I always say Evander Holyfield is my favorite of all time. Like out of all the boxers, he's one of my favorites. Like I said, he's entertaining. His skill set was amazing, and for me, he was just a perfect fighter back in the day, you know. And
he was smaller than everyone he fought too, because he came
smaller
up
than
a
everyone.
cruiserweight.
Exactly. Light heavy, even he started
Yes,
as a light
actually,
heavy
yes.
cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what he achieved. Like to do what he's done is amazing, and he did it through fighting all these big guys, and he really went to war with all of them. And he just impressed me. His career impressed me, even though he didn't probably finish as well as he should have. He probably should have retired earlier, but his career is like one of the best, man.
That's one of the unfortunate things with a fighter's pride. You know, I always say, like, when people ask how come some fighters stay too late, it's almost like the easiest way to describe to people is that it's, you know, especially in any sport, if you're a competitor, but specifically in a sport like boxing, you know, it's hard to look at yourself in the mirror and admit that you don't have it anymore. Right.
You don't have it anymore. It's true, yeah.
So that's why you want to,
to that point yet.
Yes, you know, get your skills up.
I haven't got to that point yet, so I wouldn't know how it feels, but I wouldn't want to feel that way. You get what I'm saying? Because if I start feeling that way, boy, because you know I've put in a lot to be where I am, so I can imagine the same with them. They've put in a lot to be where they are, and for someone to tell them and them to tell themselves that they ain't got it no more, it's quite hard to take in.
Exactly. That's why you want to get to the top as fast as you can, and stay there for a good amount of time and make as much money as you can, and then get out of there before the sport gets you out. Unfortunately.
Exactly. It happens a lot. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's true.
Okay, let's get the story behind the Jeamie TKV. Let's let people know how to properly pronounce your last name, and then go from there.
So my name is Jeamie TKV. The TKV comes from the name Chikiva, so the TKV. So my surname is spelled TSHIKEVA. So TKV is in the name there. And the reason why I decided that is because I went through a period where I felt like I wasn't doing as well as I could. Or that I was doing well at one point, then near the end of my amateur career, I kind of like slowed down a little bit, and I felt very negative, and I wasn't really happy as well, and I felt like there needed to be a change. I did a lot of reading, meditating and stuff, and I felt like naming myself TKV makes me a new person. I won't be Chikiva anymore. Chikiva didn't finish strong. TKV is a new person who will begin strong and finish strong, so it's just more of a mental thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's an ego type of thing. But literally, that's the main reason. I felt like Chikiva didn't finish well. TKV is a whole new person who would do better.
Nice. Much respect to that. Any announcements or anything that you want to are you up to anything in the that you want to let people know you're up to or anything like
I'm
that?
pretty much boring, man. All I do is boxing. There's not much announcements. Nothing big that I can announce, but just
focus on the prize, keeping your eyes on the prize, right?
Exactly, eyes on the prize. That's exactly that.
That's perfect. That's perfect, man. Well, I really appreciate you joining me today. Let me see if there's any more questions in the chat. She said same. Adari Pennant says you should fight like Ike Ayabuchi or Evander Holyfield.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if it was clear enough on my shorts. It said God first.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at Ike Ibi's fights on his shorts, it had God first.
Yes.
So I tried to replicate him like, a little bit by writing God first on the back of his shirt the same way he used to do, because I rate him as the same as Evander. I rate him as well, but his career got cut short through unfortunate situations. But yeah, that's one of my favorites as well.
Nice. We got another question coming in here. What was your favorite venue that you fought in so far? Well, you've only had one pro fight, but amateur, you've probably traveled around the world, right? So maybe what country was your favorite country to fight in?
Do you know what? Morocco was probably my favorite country to fight in, because there was a lot of Congolese people supporting us, because I boxed internationally for Congo, and we had like a big crowd, and the noise they were making, it really got me going. And I don't think I've ever had fights the way I've had fights over there. Like the way the crowd was, it pushed me. And every time we won a fight, it's like we won the world championships. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Every fight, every win was a madness, and it made me want to win more. You know what I'm saying? Push more. And every time I came out the ring, security had to be around me just because of the fans. So it was just like I was a star over there. I loved it. So that experience, man, it's crazy. I enjoyed it so much, man.
Yeah, Morocco,
best country I've boxed in. Yeah,
Morocco, nice. Especially because what I was about to say is in a lot of most of the international tournaments, there's no crowd, or not. Sorry, not there's no crowd, but it's there's no crowd really.
Not much people,
yeah, not too much people. So at the amateur level to have a crowd like that, of course, that would be a long-lasting memory. That's pretty cool. Exactly. Any other countries that were memorable like that?
Not really. I think that's the only one where I'd say it was just the best, and the fact that I did so well in that competition as well probably adds to it as well.
Nice.
So so it's the only. I've been to other countries, Germany. Germany's a place where I think I've boxed there 12 times, and I think I've won 11 times over there. So that I hold good memories in Germany too. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Nice. Vinny is just coming in, throwing the questions today. He wants to know: have you sparred anyone famous that we might know? Any good stories that you can share from that?
I've sparred Chisora. You know Chisora?
Oh, of course. You sparred Chisora. How was that? Does he spar the way he fights?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. He's strong. Like people won't expect it, but he's a strong guy. But this was like in 2016, so some years ago. And David Adelaide, you heard of him?
Oh, Big Mike in the building.
What up, guys? What up, David? How are you, man? Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. We were just Jeamie was just in the middle of talking about some of the top guys that he got a chance to spar with. Anyways, finish what you were saying, Jeamie. Finish what you were saying.
Fabio Woodley, heard of him?
Woodley, yes. Yeah.
I feel under pressure. The names are all slipping out my mind. What's happening? Who else?
That's cool.
Cash Ali.
Cash Ali, yes. I think Mike profiled him on one of the shows before.
Yeah.
Dave Adelaide.
Adelaide. Did you profile him too, Mike? I think.
Yeah, we profiled him as well.
Nice.
There's a few names missing, but it'll probably come back to me. It'll probably come back to me. But a few names are missing.
Mike, go ahead. I know you got some questions. You just came in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's been talked about already, but you know what it is.
We basically talked about everything, man. Talked about his amateur career, how we got started. Everything really. How Addery has another comment. She or he would like to see you fight Eric Molina next. That would be a good, that would be a step up fight. You're only going into your second pro fight. That's kind of a step up, but I'm confident you can take him. I'm kind of confident you can take him. That's kind of early in the career.
Do you know what? Those type of fights, obviously you can beat those type of guys, but the problem is it will push you up too far, and once you go up, there's no way back.
Yes,
I have to pick the right fights at the right time.
Yes,
so I can't just jump. Like I've still got to learn. Even though I've been boxing for a while, this is new to me. I'm still learning. So either way, I've got to learn as a professional. So there's no way I would jump too far. Obviously, if the fight was right and it was right for my career, I would do it. But besides that, I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping as far.
Exactly.
What are some short-term goals that you got? For how many times are you looking to fight for before the end of the year is up?
Hopefully 5. I'm hoping. But I think I'm gonna get 4 from the way things are going, because my next one hopefully should be in June. After June, we're gonna see then. But I think I'm gonna get at least 4 or 5, because all my fights have to be on the Sky platform. On the Sky platform, so I can't be fighting on small hall shows and stuff. So I have to be fighting on the big shows.
Right. That's awesome. That's right.
Nice.
So
that's it.
Yo, honestly, do you want to be loved or do you want to be feared in your career?
Do you know what? I'd rather be loved. You know what? Everyone feared Tyson, but everyone loved Muhammad Ali. But you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Who would you rather be, Muhammad Ali or Tyson? You know what I'm saying? I would rather be.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Both wouldn't be bad though.
Both wouldn't be bad. Yeah, exactly. Being feared and loved at the same time. But I mean, if I had the option just to choose one, I would choose love. Honestly, I feel like it's different, especially for boxing, because everyone expects everyone to fear a boxer, but to love a boxer is different. So to be loved by the nation is amazing, isn't it? It's amazing.
Who were some of your influence to to get in the ring and compete and can go through this career of being a boxer?
He talked about Ali. He give him more detail on it though. He talked about Ali and Evander Holyfield and Ayabuchi. But maybe give maybe one thing from each fighter. If you could take one thing from each of those fighters and give it to yourself, what would it be?
Muhammad Ali was his charisma and his self-belief. Like his self-belief was amazing. Like what he said always came. It always happened. You know what I'm saying? Like just his self-belief and charisma was different. Evander Holyfield had the biggest heart. He always went to war with all these big guys coming from a lighter weight. Ike was a very talented fighter who unfortunately got into unfortunate circumstances. But those 3 are one of the guys that are the people that I watch a lot. Maybe you might see a few things that they do that I try subconsciously. I do as well. So, but those are the main 3 guys that really inspire me. That did inspire me to box.
That's
nice.
Nice. How did you? So during the time that you were, as a fighting as an amateur, did you find it hard to balance amateur fighting and say like your academic background and like schooling? Did you find it hard to juggle both?
Nah, not really. I actually completed university while I was boxing. So I was, yeah, so
Nice,
so I didn't
nice.
do too bad. I was able to balance both of it, because my priority was to obviously get my study and go straight to training. Like most people be hanging about in the university and just finding things to do. But my thing was to study, get into my seminar, and get out and go to my session. I never really stuck around. I made friends, but I wasn't there to hang about and waste time.
Right. Right.
Hmm. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's. So you really must have just did focus on those two things, just school and training. Because
Yeah,
there's not much time for anything else, especially if you're in university taking
exactly.
university courses. How
Yeah.
were you able to stay focused? Like, did you have somebody like making sure that you were staying on the right path, or was it just all you just staying mentally strong and making sure that you didn't get distracted by things?
Do you know what? It was me on my own because literally I knew what I wanted, like from the beginning. Like I said before, from the beginning, um, that my amateur coach told me you can make a lot of money from this sport. So that was always in my head. I can make a lot of money. I can make a lot of money, and eventually become someone. You know what I'm saying? Make it my full-time job someday. So I always had that ambition and goal to become a professional and to really go far in the sport, which is the reason why I really thought that I really wanted it. So there was nothing that could have that distracted me in that time, and even now, no, like nothing can distract me. I know where I want to go.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you face so far in your career?
Um, you know what? At the begin, to be honest, my management team, and the people around me have helped me so much where I haven't struggled as much as others. Like I hear stories of people really struggling, but I got a great team, so I can't even say that. Like everything has been great. They've got me on a great platform. They're taking care of me. They got me around the right people. Like I feel quite comfortable in my pro career, and so I can't really. To be honest, everything's been going okay for me. So yeah,
If
like
you could,
there's no
if you could,
obstacles that.
I don't know if you've been asked this yet, but if you could fight anybody today, who would it be?
uh, I said Tyson Fury,
Yeah, you said Tyson
100%
Fury
because
now, but give us again more detail
Uh,
on that. How exactly would you beat him? Well, I guess maybe you can't give that if the fight
no,
in case you get that fight.
yeah,
Maybe you don't want to give those
you don't
details.
want to give away how he's going to beat the champ, man.
yeah. I don't want to give it, but you know what? I feel like give him a little bit of problems with my movement. Like he won't expect my movement as much as I won't probably expect some of the stuff that he does as well. So I'll probably shock him a little bit, but we'll see. You never know. It's a win or lose game because for me, he's one of the best at the moment. He's
Right.
obviously causing waves throughout the heavyweight division, and it's exciting as well. And like I said before, I would love to be in a fight where people will be talking about it for many years, and the fight with Tyson Fury will be just that fight.
Of course, of course.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
When you're ready to hang it up and take a different role in the sport, what do you want to be remembered for when you decide to hang it up?
The same thing Evander is remembered for, his big heart, for all the entertaining fights. Like my thing is to be as entertaining as possible. Just to be the most technical, fast heavyweight. I don't know, but I just really want it to be. I really want to be the most entertaining heavyweight boxer. My fights to be watched and talked about for many years, and like the same way I'm talking about Evander Holyfield's fight. I want people to talk about my fights the same way. So I just want to be entertaining. That's what I want to be remembered for.
If you had to pick a fight that say represented who you really are as a fighter for all the people out there that know you, what fight do you think would be the best to describe who you are as a fighter for people to watch?
Do you know what? This might sound like a stretch, but James Toney versus who's I forgot his name. It was one of his old school fights as a
Oh man.
middleweight. That's what I'm saying is a stretch. The guy was a world champion as well.
Okay.
I forgot his name. Let me see if I can I find his name quickly?
Yeah, do it up. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, hold up. Barkley. Yeah, that's it. So James Toney versus Barkley.
Yeah.
That fight, the only reason why is because he actually, even though James Toney is a skillful fighter, and you would expect him to back off a little bit, he actually, when Barkley comes at him, he just fights him back, you know.
Right.
And for me, I'm that type of person. I'll fight back if I need to fight back. So yeah, and maybe Ike Ibuachi versus David Tuya.
Okay. Yeah.
That's another fight. Technical, a lot of shots being thrown and technical. That's
right.
the best way I could probably explain myself.
What's your favorite shot? What's the money maker? What's the one that you just love throwing?
The body shot to the body, the left. I didn't really land it as clean in the fights, but that's one of my favorite shots when I land it properly. Like I use my left a lot with the lead uppercuts and whatever, but I use my left quite a lot. So
that's awesome.
Definitely my favorite.
Do you have your next fight scheduled? Do you know when you're jumping in the ring again?
Nah, well, my next fight, hopefully, we're thinking of June. I've heard my team talk about June, so that's in 2 months, and hopefully we can stay busy from there. I just want to stay busy because there's not, like I said before, I'm trying to get at least 5 fights, but from the way things are going, every 2-3 months could probably be 4 fights. But we're being optimistic and hoping to get 5 this year. But June is the next date that we're hoping for.
Excellent. I can't wait to see you in the ring again, man. Honestly,
Thank you.
can you run us through the emotions when you got that call from boxers saying, "Hey, you know what, we want to sign you to a multi deal," and how? Just run us through the emotions you felt when that happened to you.
You know what? My team obviously was speaking of it for a while, saying that potentially they can get me on this platform, and when they finally came through with the contract, I was just excited and I was happy. I was over the moon because I knew that this is the best platform to be on. Like Sky Sports, Boxer, the promotion second to none. Like the way I'm promoted is like I couldn't have imagined it elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that I signed with them. I was just too excited. I saw the work that they were doing with other fighters, and friends that were on there before. And I saw that they're doing good work with them. So I said, you know what, this is the best place to be. My team said the same thing. So when they actually came through, it was the best feeling, man. I can't even put it into words, but I was happy.
That's honestly, I'd be happy too, man. Honestly, they're definitely a huge growing company, man. I know they're like still infant in their journey here that they've done, but they are doing great wonders. What's the team atmosphere like, training wise? Like when you're in that gym, man, is it a really tight community there that you're part of now?
Yeah. It's a really tight community. It's taken me in well. So, but there's world champions there, as you know, Lee Wood, Josh Taylor, and there's obviously a lot of up and coming prospects that will become world champions in that gym. Obviously Chris Congo. I don't know if you heard of him. He's in the gym as well.
Yeah, we profiled him actually right after you.
Actually, I think I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, so Pat McCormack, Luke McCormack.
Yeah.
Mark Dickinson, Shabazz Massoud, Ben Smith, Will Cordy. There's a lot of talented boxers. There's a lot of talented boxers in the gym. We feed off each other, and the fact that there's world champions there, it pushes us. You know what I'm saying? To see that they're working hard, it's only right that we work hard too. So
right.
It definitely pushes us all, and it's a very nice gym. Everyone's nice. There's no ego over there.
That's awesome.
Very nice gym.
What's it like in a day of camp when you're getting ready for a fight? How long are your camps? what time does the day start? What time does it end? What do you hate? What's the worst thing you hate about it?
Do you know what? The only thing I hate sometimes are the long days. You know, they are short days, but it's not every day. So there's like my long days are like 3 times a week.
Right.
But it's like I'll run in the morning. After running, I'll go boxing, and then after boxing, I've got strength and conditioning. So it's like a long period. So I'll be finished by like 6 p.m. 7. By the time I get home, I'm ready for bed again and ready to do it for the next day. And the following day, I'll probably spar. Then in the evening, I'll do a run. Then the Wednesday following day, I'll do the same routine as a Monday where I would run. You know what I'm saying? Run, boxing, then strength and conditioning. And I do that every day. And Saturdays, I do like a light, long run, like probably like 1 hour or so, like 8K or 7K, depends how I'm feeling. And then Sunday, I rest. So it's not as bad. Like, to be honest, I can never complain. Like, my body's used to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as bad. Camp is not as bad. To be honest, we're still training, taking over. But when obviously we get a fight date, that's when we step it up. You know what I'm saying? So we stay fit, but we know when to step it up and when to tone it down.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm super excited to see you get back in the ring. Honestly, I think you're gonna do great in your career, man. I think people need to look at your division. You have thunder in those hands, man. You got great defense, great speed, and seriously, the division's got to look out, man, because there's a new guy in town, man. There's a new guy.
Hey, we're here to stay.
He's gonna take it over, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's the plan, man. We're here to take over. Yeah, we're here to take over, not just to be on the sidelines. We're here to be on the front line and really take over. So I'm glad that you're saying that.
Make that statement.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm gonna make statements.
Yeah, for real. Let me ask: do you remember the feeling that you went through the first time you put a man to sleep in the ring?
Boy, yeah, literally, it just happened. I was thinking it can't, because I didn't expect the shot to put him down. But this one, I didn't really expect the shot to put him down, and it kind of, I was like, "What?" So really, it was just that shock feeling. Oh, wow, that shot put him down, but it wasn't even one of the hardest shots that I hit him with, you know.
Right.
But yeah, but when you do hurt someone, it's always a good feeling. It's always a good feeling. Yeah.
That's right. Get them out of there quick. No overtime, right? Just get in and get it done.
Exactly. No overtime. Exactly that.
What's the long-term goal? Say next 5 years or so. What do you expect to be?
Definitely in the top 10 in the world for sure, or maybe close to fighting for a world. Because 5 years is a lot to be sitting around and fighting bums for 5 years. Not saying everyone's a bum, but like as in, sorry, let me rephrase that. Fighting journeyman for a while.
Right.
So by then I would have stepped it up. Definitely would have gone through the British route, the European route, Commonwealth, and then probably be within close to world title. I already have fought for a world title by 5 years, personally, from the plan that we got as a team.
Mm-hmm. Any plans on helping out the youth as you continue on in your career? You have any like goals of maybe becoming a coach one day or?
No, definitely. Do you know what? I definitely want to become a coach because now I'm learning the game. I feel like I want to teach people about the game too. You know, I really want to give the knowledge that I learned and give it to other people and hopefully make some champions of myself. You know what I'm saying? Just make champions the same way. But I do have a dream one day where I can maybe adopt kids or foster kids who haven't got the opportunities that others may have, and then in a way create like a house for sports. So every kid that I adopt, not saying I'll force them, but they do sports, and we can see if they can excel and probably make it as professionals. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be boxing. It could be any sport, but I definitely want to do that in the future. It may not just be a foster thing. It may be a program where I can help kids get into their desired sports and push them all the way through to become professionals.
Right. Did you find it easy to transition from the amateurs into the paid ranks, and what are the biggest difference that you've experienced between the two different?
So with amateur boxing, the only difference is, like I mentioned before, was the pace. I had to just slow down the pace and make sure I wasn't doing too much and blowing, because sometimes I would throw a lot of shots and move my head a lot, all the fancy stuff. For a big guy, I just liked fancy stuff, but it's not good in a lot. Like if you're doing 10 rounds to 12 rounds, you're gonna blow out doing all of that. You blow out in 5 rounds, and I was blowing out in like 6 rounds because I was doing too much. But once Ben Davison and Barry Smith showed me how to control that and really slow it down, and obviously made that transition from amateur to pro. Now I can do 10 rounds without blowing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more comfortable, because now I can manage myself a bit better. So it's just that transition was, obviously it was different, but it's better. It's worked out well for me, and I didn't find it difficult to make that transition, because I've boxed at the highest level of amateur boxing, but now it was time to. It's just basically same type of training, but with longer time and longer periods, longer rounds. So yeah, it wasn't too much of a difficult transition.
All right. Do you follow like a strict eating nutritional plan and eating habits, or you just like eat what you want and just train like a madman?
Nah, do you know what? I don't eat junk. I literally don't eat junk, because I came down from 133, because after the Olympic qualifiers, I literally ballooned up during lockdown and just got comfortable eating whatever. But I got down from 133 and I was 107 when I weighed in. You know what I'm saying? I did drop a lot of weight quickly as well. Not too quick, but I dropped a lot of weight. But now we're gonna start to bulk up so we can look more physically like a heavyweight type of thing. So I began following a strict diet. I said a month before the fight. I wish I'd done it earlier, but a month before the fight, I was eating a very clean diet, which helps with performance, avoiding certain food, and I got told to avoid certain food just before the fight. Like the fight week, you're not supposed to eat certain food because certain food hinders your performance and stuff. And I saw the benefits of that. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, my diet is definitely clean. It's not bad. I don't eat chips and burger and all that stuff, but I do eat. You get what I'm saying? You get me? I eat either way, but I don't eat
we all got that cheat day. We all got that cheat day from time.
Yeah, of course, yeah, cheat. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
What's the biggest challenge that you've faced so far? Like in the pros that you didn't expect? Like, what's the biggest thing that surprised you that was challenging that you really had to overcome?
You know what? It's like everything that I've come across is like I expected it. I didn't expect nothing to be easy. So when anything hard does come, I really take it on and just go with it, because I just knew that it was never going to be easy. Just dealing with certain things, with obviously I don't have to sell tickets, but dealing with people buying tickets and just dealing with these small things, like obviously it takes a lot, because an amateur, you don't have to worry about all of that. You know what I'm saying? You just turn up, punch someone in the face, you get punched in the face, and you go home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But with the pro game, is a bit more different. There's a build up, there's press conference, there's a lot of work that you're supposed to do beforehand, especially me being on a big platform like Sky. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of work that I'm doing behind the scenes, and obviously, besides training, we're doing the media work and doing some other stuff. Photos being taken all the time. So maybe it's just, I think that's probably one of the things I had to get used to as well. All that media stuff. But now I've got the hang of it, and we're flowing and we're just going with it. Yeah.
What's a piece of advice that you could give the young youth that are up and coming to stay, motivated to reach the level that you've reached? What's the best piece of advice you could give them?
To be honest, just remain like it seems like everyone always says this, remain focused, blah blah blah. But literally, that's all it takes. Just stick to what you're doing. Just don't stop what you're doing. If you're good at something, there's a lot like even me with my boxing. I was going through patches where I wasn't happy and I wasn't getting the wins that I was supposed to get in. So I wasn't getting the wins that I was supposed to be getting. There was a lot of situations where I didn't really want to continue boxing as well. But I said, you know what? I've put in a lot of work in the sport. So there's no way I can just quit and let it go. So there is going to be difficult situations like that. It may be hard, but always remain focused and continue what you're doing. Never, the best way to put it is just never quit. Even though it may be hard, but trust me, never quit, because at the end of the road, there's always going to be a light, man. There's going to be a light and something good's going to come from all the work that you put in. As long as you put in all the work, you'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, we all know boxing has a crap load of politics in it, man. What's the most, like, what's the biggest thing that you've experienced that, in the politics of boxing, and how's it affected you in your career?
Well, the politics, well, there's one situation where I missed out on the Olympics. Literally, the African Games, got to the final, and then in that fight, the guy got 2 points taken off and all that. Then when it got to the verdict, I think the judges took 20 minutes to read out the verdict. They was arguing with each other, and then when they read it out, they said the other guy won. And then a riot kicked off. People started throwing chairs into the ring, and these are people from different countries, not even from my country. And they say we're tired of all this bias. So stuff like that, judging, has really messed up the sport for me. A lot of situations like that happen a lot. Like those judges did get suspended pending investigation, but because of the pandemic, they wasn't able to overturn the results. So the results remained that he had a gold medal and I had a silver medal in the African Games, and he actually ended up going to the Olympics because of that gold medal, which was supposed to be overturned. So that's one thing that I was really upset about for a while as well. I remember that, and but yeah, just situations like that, it doesn't help a lot of people. You're just messing up dreams, and people work hard to be where they are. So I mean, yeah, those kind of stuff is messed up.
What was the biggest lesson that you've learned from a situation like that so far?
You know what? I don't even know how to put it, but I just had to be strong. Just, you know what? It happens, and if one door shut, as they say, one door shuts, another door opens. But I can't complain. It happened, and it happened for a reason. So I guess it is what it is. But I just learned that everything happens for a reason. That's one thing I definitely learned in that situation.
How do you stay motivated? Like, how do you stay, like, for the younger fighters out there, man, when a situation like that happens where, the politics gets involved like that, and, something gets overturned, and, you end up in this situation where, how did you stay motivated, and how are ways that, to motivate yourself to continue when you suffer a loss like that is so devastating that you work so hard for?
I literally knew how good I was, and the fact that I've competed at the highest level, and the people that I've boxed against are all in the Olympics and stuff, I'm at the same level as them, and that's what, not saying if they wasn't at the Olympics, I would have continued, but that was one thing that kept me pushing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm good enough to be on that level, so why can I not continue and push on and become a professional and do big things elsewhere? You know what I'm saying? So That's one thing that did push me.
That's great, man. To stay motivated like that. We got a question here from the audience. Actually, they want to know, what does TKV stand for?
So TKV, I explained previously. So my name is Jeamie TKV,
Yep.
and the TKV comes from my last name Chikiva. So TSHIKEVA. So it's from my last name.
All right, Amber, I hope that answers your questions. Also, we have another one. Favorite mentor or favorite trainer?
Well, at the moment, I'm training with like one of my favorite trainers, which is Benn Davison. So
Yeah.
Benn Davison is my favorite trainer at the moment. But if we're talking about all time, we're talking Emmanuel Stewart. Was yeah, I think Emmanuel Stewart made a lot of champions, and I think Lou Duva wasn't too bad either. I've actually liked the boxers that he produced, and that he was blessed with a lot of talented fighters, but he really did take them all the way to the top.
Right. You know, I don't want to keep you too much longer, brother. I know. You've been here. You took the time out of your busy schedule to come and join us, man. I love it. Much appreciation and respect. We at Talkin Fight are definitely going to be following you throughout your lengthy career, man. All your ups and downs are here for you, for your support, man. We're definitely going to push you and your brand out to our audience, man, to let them know that you are definitely a force to be reckoned with in this division, and that all these guys better look out, man, because there's a new man in town, right?
Yeah, there's a new man in town for real. Yeah, 100%.
There's a new man in town. You know, he's kicking ass, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So Jeamie, I'm not going to keep you too much longer, brother. I just want to say thank you again. Shout out to you.
Okay.
Shout out to your team, man. Definitely, you're doing it big. Can't wait to see you in the ring. You definitely have to, message me up. Let me know the next time you got the match set
definitely.
up, so we can tune in.
And then so you can keep, definitely,
for sure.
We keep in touch that way.
Definitely. I would also like to invite you back, maybe the week before, the week out, or right after your next fight, so we can push you, man, and let the audience know how you're doing and everything. But definitely,
that'll be appreciated.
Yeah, man.
No,
so honestly, we are going to definitely see you in the ring soon, man. And I want to give a shout out to all these fans who dropped in some questions today. Sorry, I was a little late today. I got stuck in a meeting. But Cedric, did Cedric do well? He did well.
He did well. He pretty much covered all the parts that you did as well. So he pretty much covered all the questions.
Excellent. All right, Jeamie, thank you very much, man. Just stick around for a few seconds when we sign off. To all the Talkin Fight fans around the world, thanks for tuning in to today's special episode of Knuckle Up at 4 with Mike Orr and Cedric Benn, and our special guest today, Jeamie TKV. If you haven't seen him yet, man, check him out. Don't want to miss this kid. Definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in this division. So all these people, man, better look out. Jeamie TKV is on his way to you. So everybody out there, man, we'll see you next time. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same channel. You know what it is, Female Friday. We'll catch you 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what it is, man. Knuckle up.